Hi all, welcome back to the channel. This would be the third episode of Web Design for Babies, where we are designing a website with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That would be a first website. And in this episode, we are going to make the header that we designed in the last episode a mobile responsive one. So the header is already done. We're just going to make it mobile responsive. Let's get to coding. So the first thing I want to do is, this one, when I go into the smaller screen, I don't want this list to comment. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to the HTML. I'm going to give a class here called hide on mobile, no, hide for mobile. Anyways, whatever it is, we can name whatever you want. Perfect. I named this class. Now I'm going to copy this and I'm going to give some CSS to it. So this is general. This is not related to header. Like I can use this anywhere. So I'm going to put it under the general. And so I have given the class here. So the next thing I'm going to make it display none, and I want this to be important basically means that this will not be overwritten basically by anything that I will write in the following classes. So I do that. Perfect. I've lost the what do you call it, the other elements. The other thing is that I think this is not central aligned. Let's just make it a little bit of central aligned. So I'm gonna go here and align items center. So you see a little more space is coming on the top, so it's now aligned properly. Perfect. Thank you. So now we have hidden the thing. Now the problem is that it is hidden on the smaller screen and it is also hidden everywhere else, even on the bigger screen. I want it to be hidden on the smaller screen and not on the bigger screen. So when it is on the bigger screen, I want it to show. So what I'm going to do is that this is where a media query comes to play. So I'm going to go write a media query, and I'm going to write a minimum width. So when it comes to 992 pixels, this is what I follow for the larger screens. 992, this one. So this particular class, I basically had given it a style of none. I am removing it, so I'm gonna remove the none. I'm gonna put it unset. When I unset it, basically that means this style is removed and it is given to the original state. Okay, why is this not working? Oh, it had to be a little more bigger, you see. So basically the screen had to be a little more bigger. Now it is bigger, so you can see the items. So when I make it a little more smaller than 992 pixel, it works. No, smaller than 992 pixel, it doesn't show. Bigger than that, it shows. Perfect. So that part is done. So the next thing I want is that when it comes to smaller screen, beside this, I want it to show a hamburger menu, a little bit icon, so we can make it mobile responsive. So I'm gonna go to my HTML and then create that menu. So I'm gonna go into this one. So let's first create it by this one, and we will have three divs inside that div class bar1. I'm gonna name it a class right away. I'll tell you why. Bar3, bar2. We have done this, right? So the next thing I want to do is that I'm going to give it a class so I can apply some styles for this hamburger. Perfect. Now let's go back and give a hamburger menu some styling. So what does it look like? Now you don't see anything because we haven't given any styling. So I'm gonna do here hamburger. Perfect. Now let's give it some styling, so we know what it's going to look like. First thing is that I want to give it a color. So the color I give it is going to be this one. Sorry, background color. Okay, we gave it a background color. Perfect. Then I'm going to give it a width of 35 pixels. I'm going to give it a height of 5 pixels. I'm going to give it a margin of 6 pixels and a 0 on the other side. Perfect. So if I refresh now, you see that. Oh, this is not for the hamburger, this is for the div. That was my mistake. Okay, now we have given width, height, margin bottom, and 6 pixels and 0. Perfect. And the background color. And the other thing, the next one I want to give is to the menu itself. Okay. Because it's too close, I want to give it a little bit of margin left here. Margin left is equal to 1.5 rem. Yeah, we give it a little bit of space there, and then we have this one. Perfect. And hamburger menu, width, height, margin bottom. Sorry, it's not just margin bottom, it has to be all margin. That's why I was wondering why there's no space. Perfect. Now we have got our button ready. Now when it clicks, nothing happens, so but we have got the button ready. So the next thing I want to do is that on a bigger screen, so when I made it big, you see this is coming, this shouldn't come, this should only come in a smaller screen. You see this is coming on the bigger screen, so let's hide that. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give it another class, hide on desktop. Perfect. So I'm going to copy this class, and then I'm going to make it display none. Again, I'm going to make it important. Perfect. I'm going to refresh it, and that's gone. So what is happening? So when it comes to a smaller screen, it is coming. When it comes to a bigger screen, it is not coming. Perfect. Now what do we want to do next? The next, we want to design the mobile menu. So let's design the mobile menu. So the mobile menu is going to be something like, when you click this, the whole screen is going to turn this blue, and then we're going to have mobile items there with a little bit of X mark there. Perfect. My coding again, I'm just going to copy this one. It's our mobile menu is just same as our this menu. Slide changes, we will not have this button, and we will not have this class. Instead, we're going to have class on here. We're going to have a class called mobile now, and so let's refresh that. Perfect. And by the way, this will not be shown on the larger screen, so I'll put hide on desktop there. So these both things are ready. If I go here, refresh, okay, it's coming here because I didn't give any styles. So let's just go start giving some styles. I'm gonna call it mobile nav. Perfect. So let's give it 100% width and a height of like full view height basically. Let's give it a background color of the blue that we like here. Perfect. Great. So we have given this. All right, and the next thing that we have to do is let's going to make the position has to be absolute. So when you give a position as absolute, what happens is that it is taking it out from this nav bar and placing it on this one, on the main thing. Let's give a top of 0. Let's position it. We gave it a top, and let's give it a left. Sorry, it's not letter spacing, we need a left. Wonderful. So now we have a whole screen with a menu bar. This is exactly what we wanted. Now we want our the hamburger icon to show also. So I'm going to go to hamburger, and then I'm going to give it a little bit of, let's say, a z index of 2. So you see the hamburger icon is there. It's z index is basically putting the items one on top of the other. So it was behind it when we don't have any z index, which basically means it was behind it. I gave it a z index of 2, which basically means it comes on to the forward. Now let's take these items and put it in the center. So let's go here, give it some styling. We're gonna give it display is equal to flex wrap is equal to wrap, justify content is equal to center, and align items is equal to center. The next thing we have to give is the coloring. So we'll copy the same thing, so So instead of nav list, this is basically mobile nav. I'm gonna refresh it. Perfect. We don't want the text decoration either, so I'm gonna copy this. This is not about the A, so remove this. I'm gonna give the not text decoration, list style, sorry. List style is equal to none. We lost a list style. We have this. It all looks really nice now. The other thing that I want to give it for the line is equal to, let's text the line its center. You know, it doesn't look nice on the left aligned. You have to display block, and then text decoration is equal to none. Let's give some margin to rem and 0. What does this do? This looks nice now. The next thing I want is that I want to make it a little more bigger. Let's give it a font size to rem, so it's twice the times of normal font size. Perfect. And I would like to make it actually, you know, uppercase. So we have made it uppercase. Nice. So the next thing that we basically have to do is that when I click this button, this has to disappear, or rather let's change this into no, let's first make the disappearing part. Okay, when I click this, I want it to disappear. To do that, we have to write some JavaScript. No need to be scared. So it's only going to be like a few lines. So let's go create some IDs so that we can apply this JavaScript. The ID is going to be applied on this, you know, hide on the desktop part. So I'm gonna call this ID is equal to hamburger, because that is the hamburger menu. And then here I'm gonna give it a ID of mobile nav. Perfect. So we have given an ID so we can call them. And I'm going to go to the bottom of this and then write a script. Alright, let's write a little bit of script so that first thing, let's call the menu variable as equal to, so we are going to write document dot get element by ID. So what happens is that now we are bringing the element with ID hamburger, which we'll do, and then we also have to bring similarly the menu. Okay, we did that. The next set, let's so what happens that we have brought these two items. So when somebody clicks on the hamburger menu, we want to know. So we're going to write hamburger dot, we're going to add an event listener. So what is the event? It's going to be click. When somebody clicks, all right, what should happen? It should call a function. Okay, the first thing it should basically do is prevent the normal event. So if you go up again, you see this hamburger menu is a class. So when you normally click a class, it will go somewhere. The first thing I want to do is that prevent that from happening. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to write event dot prevent default. So now this will prevent it from going elsewhere. So that is the first thing that we do. The second thing is that we have to add a class list. Hamburger dot class list dot toggle hamburger. I'm gonna create a new class, hamburger change. Perfect. And then menu dot class list dot toggle mobile nav change. Perfect. So I've written, what I've done is that when somebody clicks that, I'm toggling these two classes. I'll just explain what these classes are. Let's go create them. So I'm going to go to here and create that particular class. I'm going to create mobile nav change. Now what I'm going to do is, now if you see, currently it is visible by default. We don't want that to happen. We want this full screen menu to come only when somebody clicks it. So what I have to do is that I'm going to remove this top 0 from here and put it here, and instead here I'm going to mention top is equal to -100 view height. So this is what is happening. See, at the moment it is not there, and then when somebody clicks this, we want that to come. So I'm just checking why it's not coming. So I think we have made some mistake somewhere. Let's just go and try to debug it. So there is some problem. What is it? Document get element by id is not a function. I think I made some spelling mistake there. So I'm just gonna go document get element by, yeah, see, this b is not capital. Okay, add even listener. Okay, again this is spelling mistake. Okay, I'm not great with this, am I? Alright, so now we've lost all the errors. See, it's working now. So basically we had two small spelling mistake, we fixed it. So what is happening? So by default there is no menu, but somebody clicks this, the menu comes. Alright, so we have it function. Now what I would like to give is that I would like to give it a little bit of transition. It comes like a, you know, sudden thing. I want to give it a little bit smooth effect. So let's go here and give it a little bit of transition so it looks, you know, a little more nicer when it comes. That's nice. You see, it's taking 1 second time, coming slowly, so it doesn't look, you know, really fast and ugly. But we have done that. So what am I doing? So what I'm doing is that first thing is, when somebody clicks this, id is equal to hamburger. Okay, I'm going to show what is going to happen, right? So here, this is my id. Inspect. So you can see this is my id, hamburger, and then I'm going to show my other menu bar. So this one, see, the top 100 view height, the default one what I had given, it is overridden by this nav change. So now it is gone. So when I click this, this is coming. So that is the code, basically what we have written here. So find the menu. When somebody clicks onto the hamburger, so we are saying hamburger, somebody clicks on it, first thing is that prevent the default, meaning I'll just remove that. I will remove the prevent default and show you what is the problem. So I'm gonna refresh it. See, it's not coming. Why? Because this is a anchor tag. By default this is supposed to take you somewhere. For example, let's say it's supposed to take you to google.com, just for an example. See, by default it is supposed to take you to google.com. all right, I'm telling don't do that, don't do that. Perfect. So which is why here we have event dot prevent default. So when I do this, I go click this, you know, the prevent default, the default action is prevented. Then I'm telling go to the menu and then add a class list known as mobile nav change. So this mobile nav change is coming after this, which basically means that it is overriding this and giving it a new value. Perfect. Now why did I write this second one? Second one I wrote because when I click this, you see this is still a menu. If people don't know, I have to click this to close it. So I want to change this icon into an X mark. So that is the second part, that is the hamburger change. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go here and give it a little bit of hamburger change. Hamburger change. Now hamburger change, I'm going to give it, we have 3 lines there, so we'll be giving it individually to each line. So I'm going to create bar 1, all right, bar 2 and bar 3. So when somebody clicks on the hamburger menu, I want the bar 2 to just disappear. I don't want that at all, right? Perfect. The bar 2 is gone. Now bar 1 and bar 2, bar 3, I would just want it to make it into an X. So we will give it a little bit of transformation. I will ask it to rotate, transform, rotate, minus 45 degree. Alright, then translate, 9 pixel, 6 pixel. Now that's nice. Now let's work on the other one. I'm gonna copy this, I'm gonna put it there. So instead of 9 and 9, I'm gonna make it 8. And I think it's not 45 degree. Perfect. Now you see we've got an X mark there. So we've got a 45 degree turn, and then we've got an 8 and 8, this one. Let me just, out of curiosity, I'm trying something. No, it doesn't look great. I think actually it's the 8 and 8 that looks decently okay. Perfect. So we have made our mobile menu now responsive. So what is happening in a smaller screen? So I'm going to go into a phone screen. Right here I have the phone screen. Perfect. I'm going to refresh it. I'm going to click here. I'm getting a menu, and then I can close it. Now I'll make it into a larger screen, which is an iPad. Alright, it's the same case. Let's make it a little more larger for an iPad Pro. So the buttons are not coming, instead you have the proper menu. Perfect. So we have our complete menu bar process done. So now it is mobile responsive as well. Good. Now let's go into the next section, as we have completed the header section. Hey guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it. And if you like this content, please share and subscribe, so that helps me to create more content like this. And we'll see in the next video where we will create a new section for our website. Thank you.